Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Wake and Bake with my CannaCast. I'm CannaDave.
Yeah, I'm Groovee.
On today's Wake and Bake, we're going to be doing a little, pretty much ask us anything, free roaming conversation, anything within the cannabis industry. There's one topic
personal or not, whatever, man.
I like that as well, too.
Growing for CannaDave, production for myself, or whatever, man. Just ask us anything. We put AMA because that's what everyone calls it, but it's technically, I guess, AUA.
For us, yeah. For us, AUA. Also, first MSO state ended up, first multi-state operator ended up ceasing production and leaving the state last week, and that is Terrapin. I believe they're also the Woods Reserve, too.
What's up, Dave? We're glad you're back. What's up, John? How's it going?
So we are going to be discussing that as well, too, today. So couple different topics. Also, they had the discussion, I believe it was Thursday, on the prepackaged and deli style cannabis
and dispos.
Yeah. So
it seems like it's gonna pass. Right?
There was a lot of people going for deli style, and I was reading some of the comments. I do think they probably will switch to the prepackaged just because for some odd reason. That's I hope not, but I think they will. But from reading some stuff like on Facebook and through the groups, it looked like a lot of people were sticking up for the deli style and stuff. Right. So it's good. It's good to see.
I think, like I said, it's not like the biggest of deals. I think it's just losing touch with, oh, what's up, Butter Nips? Good morning. He said, Gromies. I like that. Instead of homies, Gromies. That's fun. I'm happy he said, let's session, learn something new. Yeah. Fuck. What were you just saying? That just took me out of my mind.
The prepackaged deli style.
I think we're just losing touch with that, like where we came from type of feel. At the end of the day, I truly think, and you get to see your product, and it's more true to like this is exactly what you're getting.
Yep.
Yesterday
we were at the dispo. They were doing deli style.
That loss of like bud tenders. I don't want to say not carrying the same, but like not all bud tenders need like you don't need your card anymore, right? You just need to say you love weed, which.
Do you love weed?
Well, when it's personal, like when you're medicinal, like when you're using it medically, it's like you're using it for you, so you know what to recommend. You probably use half the products in the store, right? Nowadays, correct. Like people might not even use what's in the store because they might just home grow, which is again totally fine. But it's like you work at a dispo, you should definitely know what you're selling. You work for anything, you should know what you're selling.
You should know your job somewhat if you're working somewhere. 100% groovy. I hope they don't get rid of the deli style because it reminds me of the medical days, but we'll see.
Oh, please like, share, comment. We appreciate all you doing all that noise because that like helps a shit ton on the back end. Oh, hi, GSC Girl Scout Cookie Shatter.
Okay.
Shatter.
Yeah, always let us know what you're dabbing, smoking on, how you're waking up this morning. Is it a cup of Joe and a joint? Let us know.
Yeah,
we got.
That's true. I got some coffee.
He does have coffee.
I got some
today.
dabs. Yeah, if you want to take a dab, I think I'm doing. Mazel Tov, Jesus. Molotov. Jesus. It's like
Mazel
Tov cocktail. It's where you throw a group of dancing Jewish men at someone. Instead of the one with the thing that explodes or whatever. Okay, anyways, yeah.
All right, on that note.
Again, we'll kick off. I say, how you enjoying cannabis? Say, CannaDave's got a dab or...
I got a supersonic of joint.
Supersonic of joint. I got a dab. We're clearly thinking great today.
Yeah, no, I'm
tired today.
A little bit. It's been a long week,
Dave Cobb, how you been, bud? You doing good? I think there's a big lack of emphasis. Butter Nips just says, I think there's a big lack of emphasis on compassion, care, and true education.
What up, Ghostbusters?
True.
And what
I
up,
think I think a lot of the education nowadays is pushed like by people pushing their own kind of agenda. Like if
Mm-hmm. Well, that comes from top down.
What do you mean?
You said pushing their own agenda, so if it's a retail shop, the managers are pushing what they want to push. It's coming from management down, If management isn't going to train the employees or train them on the differences of prepackaged or deli style or these different edibles or what's the difference between this and this, then those bud tenders aren't going to know. We can't put all the blame on them.
I'm not putting on the bud.
It's got to come from
bud tenders. I'm just saying
down.
That's who I'm dealing with is the bud tender.
Correct.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The dispo should provide your training. Shouldn't be like, here's your POS system. Go sell some weed.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm not saying it needs to be like a 200 question test, but I mean it should be like, hey, what are these products? There should be some type of introduction to like their shop and like who the companies are. But there really is. There's just like, hey, sell it for what it is.
There's no like bud tender's Bible or guide, right, to understanding getting into the cannabis industry. Like yesterday,
I think there have been a couple. I think there is somebody trying to make one. I've heard, but the thing is, like, then that's just someone's opinion. Still, man, it's not like you're the best bud tender ever.
Correct.
Like, you're just making a bud tender's Bible. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying that's cool and all. Like, that's a cool idea, but it should be specific to your dispensary.
Well, the reason why I bring it up, I don't even know how we got onto this part, is because when we went to the dispo yesterday, shout out to Groovee, took me out. We got some infused pre-rolls.
Yeah, CannaDave's official birthday was Thursday, so we had to do something.
So shout out to Groovee, took me out.
Yeah.
But we hit the dispo yesterday, and
what's up, Herm?
When we were at the dispo, looking at the edible wall, man, and just looking at all the product, there's just so much product out on the market that you got to make sure that you can stand out from anybody else. Is it colors on your packaging? Is it the quality of your product? Like information on the packaging? Maybe you've came from the caregiver days, now you're into the adult use days, so like people know your product. It's so hard to understand the product, and if the bud tenders don't know all the products on the shelf or talk to you about it, you might end up buying.
That's why I don't want. And you're absolutely right, dude. The blame isn't on the bud tenders. The blame goes towards the bud tenders from the patient, from the user, and that's why everyone's like, "Oh, bud tenders this, bud tenders that." You're right. It comes from the top down, and honestly, management too. Yeah, management 100%. Should be making sure that your bud tenders that are getting hired are people who actually like want to care and learn.
I mean, if they don't,
if not, there's tons of people in the comments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not saying they'd want to like work at a dispo,
work at a retail shop. True that. Oh, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Smoking on whatever left in my tray with a couple of Joe. That's funny.
Love it. Fucking love it, dude. Yeah.
E.M. Schultz's management should always make sure employees are trained, right? And I feel like that's kind of like a standard.
I mean, you go to McDonald's, you get trained.
Right.
You go to Burger King, you get trained. You go to Kroger, you get trained. I mean, you get trained anywhere you go. I don't know how it fully is. When I worked at the dispo back in the medical days, I don't know. For me, I mean, it's different. We would look at different strains online. So if we got a new strain in, say it was, I don't know, sherbet, we would look up sherbet. What's the lineage on sherbet? See what it is, see the effects, and we would talk about that with the consumer coming in at the time. So we would do a little bit of education, but there wasn't like.
Well, yeah, but it's overwhelming now. I mean, look how many different strains. Look how many different.
That's what I'm saying.
Companies,
edibles. There's just like the wall.
That's why I say it really should be dispensary specific. You know what I'm saying? Like, and thank you for whoever brought this up. The education dispensaries. I think that was Nubs. Jesus. When your profit margins and dead stock involve, all empathy goes out the door.
Say that again. Sorry.
He said when your profit margins and dead stock involve, all empathy goes out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Puffing some outdoor last season. Nice.
What strain?
That's always a good question. Always gotta ask a question like that. I love that. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, today we're just doing an AMA. I don't. The thing is, I don't necessarily want to say who's to blame. I'm saying who's responsible for that. Like, who's responsible in management, right?
I mean, you're hiring them in. If they don't have experience, so, like, you got to train them.
Let me ask you, CannaDave. Like, so what would if you were, say, we own CannaDave's Dispo, right?
It'd be called MICCL.
Be yours. No, anyways, just shut up. Hold on, I'm asking you a question. It's not about me.
All right,
CannaDave's Dispo, right? Imagine it. CannaDave's Dispo, right?
We got hella deals.
It's all rags. No, I'm just kidding.
We got rags from all over. We got brick weed. We got brown weed. We got light brown weed. We got weed that gives you
with seeds, please?
We got weed that gives you a headache in 2.5 seconds. And then we got one that gives you one in 5 seconds.
What would your standard be for hiring a bud tender then? And I guess it does. And do you focus on a good manager? Or are you the good manager? Like, what? I don't know.
I mean, if I eventually ran my own shop, I mean, of course, I'd be hands on for a while. You gotta make sure that the shop takes off. But if I was to employ people, I would probably, if they have no education in cannabis, I'm not going to deny them, right? Because think about this, Groovee. For us, when we graduated college and we're looking at jobs, and it's like, oh, you need 5 years experience. And I'm like, oh, cool. So you want me to go to college and then you need like 3 years experience to use my degree? That's stupid.
It made no sense because you're like,
it's entry level. Like
exactly.
It's supposed to be like you come in and you learn. So if I was to do bud tender, yeah, that'd be entry level to me. Or I would love to have some experienced ones. But if you don't have the experienced bud tenders, I would have like a mini 1-day training. Like there should be like a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning 2-hour sesh, 5-hour sesh that you train.
I bet you there is things like that. To me,
I would love to know if anyone's from a bud tender. Let us know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But bud tender education, bud tender this, like it's kind of hard to blame the bud tenders, right? I just feel like every dispensary should have like more in-depth training because I just now, and they might be like some of this training might be totally a lot harder than I realize, and that's why I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just saying dispensaries, your standards are, it's more competitive now, right? It's not like there's 6 dispensaries and you can be whatever you want to be because there's nowhere else to go, right? There's tons of options for people nowadays, so it's just like now I think that's what is like
what's up,
lacking.
Andy?
That's what's kind of lacking in the industry. So for me, that's like the dispensary that announces like, hey, our bud tenders are all certified trained, and start talking about that. People probably would go there so because it's not about necessarily about them being uneducated by any means. It's just that when I go in there and I have a specific question, you can answer it, then it sucks.
No, I mean, me and you even talked about it yesterday because we're both different when we go inside. This way, you're like, I just go in, try to get my deals, and go out. I actually asked the bud tenders a bunch of questions. I'm like, I'm curious to know what product and stuff they know, and because I would love for them to point me in a direction that's something I wouldn't try. You know what I'm saying? Or something new.
What's up, Andy?
But I don't know if it's going to be something new that I actually want to smoke. But
Rodney says it's all hands-on learning. You can't replace that with schooling, in my opinion. I feel like it's a mix. I really feel like it's a certain amount of like you got to understand
what up,
things.
Rodney?
You got to actually be taught things, which come from come from a human. I don't know if that matters. I think that comes from learning preference. But also, I think there is a good amount of like getting to know the shop. Like maybe maybe there's interns or like something in the shop.
A lot of my experience was a mix of both. It wasn't from like let me rephrase that. A lot of it was hands on, but I also had a lot of I did a lot of learning Google, to be honest.
Right.
I Googled a lot.
Well, that's why I said it comes from whatever source.
And if anything, it's always great if you can find like a mentor. Someone that's been in the industry or any field in particular. If you're going into engineering, if you're going into cannabis, you're going into automotive. If you can find a mentor that's been in the industry, in that specific industry for so long, they can give you tips, help you out in certain ways that can expedite your learning process to get you where you need to be quicker so it doesn't take you an extra year or two.
Right.
And I had a little bit of that when I started smoking and learning cannabis a little bit back when we were 18, man.
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, remember Alex? He showed me a bunch of stuff within cannabis. And taught me a bunch of stuff about
I mean, I do remember now you said it, but it's not on my forefront of my mind. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't know who you were referring to because I used to grow with someone too, so I was like, I didn't know who you were referring to.
Oh, right. You've
been growing on and off for like years.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've had a lot of people I've talked to and stuff. And just learning from a book is more difficult because, like, not more difficult. I think the hands-on learning.
I think with
huge,
cannabis, like growing for sure. I think you need to touch it and be out there with the plant. No one's gonna be able to read you a book and be like, "Here it is." Absolutely. I mean,
books help.
Well, I just with my degree, right? Like with what I do, audio, sound, production. It's a mix. No, it's a mix because I needed to. I mean, I am better with that, but like I needed to learn some of these like how sound works. I needed to learn some of these science and math terms, right? So when I'm in my head, I can picture it better. So when I'm mixing. Like when I'm doing a band or I'm live mixing an event or whatever, I can see it and hear it, and it's kind of I don't know. They're kind of mixing like my visual and audio when I'm thinking. I don't know how to explain that in a way.
Isn't it crazy that we're seeing a bunch of now colleges making people pay to learn about cannabis though too?
Yeah. Well, like I said,
I just saw it on the news. They had a whole
and even if you go to school for cannabis, you still need to touch the plant. Like you still need to grow. If it's all book learning, then it's not going to work.
Like I think it's cool that you have that, but shit, man. I mean, many people in the industry right now, everyone's done it in the illegal market. Like you're learning was from the illegal market, the illicit market, whatever you want to call it. So it's just crazy now that everyone's starting to see the revenue from cannabis, or how many people want to learn from it. So now you have all these programs. I mean, we talked about it in a recent episode last week, I believe.
All right.
That just dropped this week with the cannabis tourism, and then the companies out up north that are doing the training classes as well too. And that Ganjaneer program, which is pretty cool. I mean, they're all cool, but you can learn a lot of hands-on stuff within cannabis. That's all I'm trying to say.
If you have the right person.
Yeah,
right?
you would have to, yeah.
You say a mentor, but what if your mentor does different?
Well, then you're not going to do the stuff right.
Exactly, you're just getting passed it down.
You got to find the right people to help you out within any career path, but within cannabis, I would agree with that too. But anyone joining, appreciate you. I'll hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate the love. Let us know what you're smoking on. If you have any questions for us, drop them in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you heard recently, but the first multi-state operator, I believe, that opened up shop officially shut down shop and left the state last week.
I mean, I was going to play the
Terrapin.
wah, 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 but it's not a bad thing.
It's actually a really good thing.
So, well, because I really wasn't a fan of their smoke. Like, I don't know.
That, and weren't they on the MCMA list?
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, too. So it's not one down. Yeah.
So like with that in hand, that's just great because you see, is it the power of the people that's seeing what's happening? Are they realizing quality product?
People probably staying away from it too.
Like
they're not making the numbers they need to make, so they're just going to go to another state.
But you can only do that so much, and then eventually you're out of money.
Well, you go to the states like that are not being fair about the plant, like New Jersey, like the ones who don't let you grow. Like that's where you go because then you're forced. Like that's where they're gonna go. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean that
quality matters, man.
It does matter, and I'm curious if we're gonna see more of this happening in the future because prices are gonna continue to drop for cannabis product, right? Because you have many companies opening up.
Right.
The demand will eventually, probably reach its point. I mean, right now we're just cruising, but eventually, it might reach a point where there's more supply than demand, and that's probably why the MCMA wants to go for the grows because you have everyone can grow their own stuff here.
Right.
I do believe I think we'll see some more of them end up leaving the state because they're putting so much money in the state. If they're not getting obviously a certain amount back, Groovy, they're going to go under. And I think when you open up too fast and you just open up retail shop and you open up a cultivation center and you're not having or producing quality product or you're not caring about the product that you're coming out with, eventually it's going to hurt the numbers. Like you might see some like days where you have some good numbers,
right?
But over the long term, as we see with Terrapin, you're gonna leave. You're gonna lose out. It's not profitable. Like you gotta leave.
Yeah, well, especially what they're expecting out of it, right? They're expecting these large profits and these large, these honestly to me unrealistic type of things. When you're these giant operations, like I don't understand. They're trying to like make the numbers of like this quality cannabis when they like. You just can't grow, 5,000 plants like that, like every couple weeks. Like it's just,
that's a lot of bud.
Or you need a lot of work. I don't know, man.
I'm curious.
Regardless of their growth. So I was like, wait, let me digress here a bit because I don't even really care how many plants they grew or any of it. Like if they have bad morals and they realize that the state knows about it, that could have been the red flag enough, and just realize that they're like, well, our numbers aren't going to go up now. And they're not where we want to be, so we might as well leave.
Well, I mean, that boycott list is pretty much hit. Like I said, it's hit all over. It's not just Michigan. The boycott list has been shared everywhere. I saw it on LinkedIn, and people were talking about it when they're not even like Michigan connects. So when you see that, like it makes a huge statement. It's going to hurt numbers.
Yeah,
I believe we even reviewed one of their products before the Woods Reserve. I think we even got a review on it.
I don't remember.
A while ago, it was trash. Pretty sure it was trash. I don't think it was that good.
Trash City.
But I don't know. I do think some multi-state operators, when they operate too fast by expecting huge growth and they don't, it's a shock in the face, which eventually it's like, all right, we got to cut it. So I think they're from Colorado.
Man. Hell yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah. I think they're from Colorado.
Northern Michigan University has a growing program, yet you never grow cannabis plant in the course. That's freaking weird. See, that doesn't make sense.
How's
to me.
that grow?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not growing. That's almost like plant education. Like, that's like a science degree. you know, and that's like, that is different. Like, and honestly, there needs to be biologists and chemists that are actually doing studies on the plant, but I feel like that's separate, you know. Traditionally, like, who's going to teach you the best, like, grow is someone like, I don't know, I think about, like, how Michigan State teaches their vets, man. They actually have a farm out there, and they're out there, like, milking cows and like testing cows and getting their hands in a cow. Like, they really are. Right? So I'm like, I can't believe that Northern Michigan wouldn't have you plant some plants. Like, even, I know the whole federal thing, right? That's what we talked about on the education thing on this week's episode, is that they use hemp, right? So at least let them grow some CBD, let them grow some hemp so they can get used to, like, different soil mediums and different, like, types of things. But that's what the thing, to me, is when you get a growing degree, I think they're selling it as, hey, here's a growing cannabis degree, but then they're just teaching you the science.
Yeah,
you know, they're not really going to teach you the farming skills. Like, I wonder if, like, a state, like a school like Michigan State would get their hands on it, because they have that farm. Why would they not plant some hemp? Just plant, like, a little tiny greenhouse full of hemp.
Yeah, right.
You know, all you need is the low THC. You know, it's not gonna be a 1-to-1 trade over, but it'll teach you a lot more than it would just the books. I feel like it's a mix. Remember, I went to an art school, so it was hands-on and it was in the book. More on the computer. But, so it's like, that's why I always say I like a mix. But that's just me personally, because I do need some time where I just need to, like, repeat it in my head. But I also, like, for growing it is different. You know, I had technical, a little more technical, so.
I feel that. I'm visual or hands-on.
No, I get it, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, growing seems to be more of a hands-on thing, so it's surprising that they don't have any. I understand that if you do a mix of it, but I don't understand none. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
no, I feel that, man. That would be smart, though. I like that idea. State having some type of... it would have to be decriminalized, though, for a lot of these colleges, I think, to get into it, in my opinion.
Rodney actually asked this question. Does anyone know where the boycott list came from? I'm pretty sure Medical Mondays. I'm pretty sure Berg.
Shout out to Berg and Medical Mondays.
Shout out for sure. Yeah, man, don't buy that shit, man. You know.
I would say so. I think that's
if
right.
You got a local caregiver, buy the caregiver. If you don't got a local caregiver, buy the products not on the fucking list. And I always make it, I'm very loud about it at the dispos too. I'm like, oh no, I can't support that company's morals. And the budtender's like, all right, anywho. Like, they like literally don't even know how to react.
They're like, all right, what's next?
No, literally, no budtender. I think one budtender once was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. And that's all they said. They didn't even actually refer to what I was talking about. I think they were just trying to agree with me, so I tipped them. So, little weird.
But you as a manager, you're not going to tell you, if your employees don't think about it or talk about it, you're not going to tell them, hey, don't sell these brands, because you got to move that product off. I mean, unfortunately. Absolutely. You would just hope the manager eventually, the purchasing agent or whoever's purchasing the product, wouldn't purchase it for the store. That's one way to actually really hurt them.
That's true.
The whoever does the orders, like, I don't want that. you know.
Yeah. But again, like, that's the problem, is the person making that call is probably looking more at the numbers. They don't really give a shit.
Well, it's business.
Business. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, that is the difference between, like, excuse me. The dispensaries, some of them do lose disconnect when you get the higher you get. Some of them do get disconnect. Not all of them. Some of them. You know, we could drop a bunch of them. Like our dudes over there that say they're not against corporate, but they literally are the definition of corporate cannabis. That's my personal favorite. But they're like, corporate cannabis against, you know, versus us or whatever. Yeah, shut up. Like, okay. I've been we've seen your shop, dude. You're corporate cannabis. I'm not gonna give him a shout out, but if you know, you know.
if you know.
You know the slogan, you know.
You know.
They're like, us versus corporate cannabis. No. You are. Maybe not in the beginning, but.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's valid. You wanna
keep it real, dog.
You wanna jump into the sponsors?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, so let's kick it off. Thank you to the sponsors this month. Yeah. We're going to start off with DNK Growers. You prefer quality over quantity and affordable price. Do you like craft cannabis? Well, check out DNK Growers. They're out of Lansing, Michigan. You can check out their website at www.dnkgrowers.com. Everyone deserves great flower at an even better price. Check out the Sour Animal. Very good. Lemon Cherry Gelato. Can't beat that either.
The Sour Diesel. Cross with animal cookies, back cross with sour diesel. I say it too much, but I love that sour animal. Like, definitely check it out at Lansing. And it also, our other sponsor, our Lansing. Are you looking for seeds for your next harvest? with over 100 different genetics and Michigan breeders. You can visit Seed Hop in the shop in Lansing or visit seedhub.shop. Again, that's seedhub.shop. The URL. At checkout, use code MICANNA15 for 15% off your seed order nationwide. Don't forget, that's always free shipping. And they got spores. And if you're looking for different breeders they don't have, definitely reach out to Corey or DM us, and Corey will look into it. Great team out there.
Yeah, he's actually doing
Much
that
love.
right now for somebody.
Small biz.
Check out Winewood Organics, first micro business in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Use code MyCannacast, receive 35% off your order of locally grown cannabis. That's an extra 10% off your first time visit. Everything's organic, from the edibles, they're vegan.
They got gluten-free options. They got tons of stuff. They got rosin, batter.
Yeah. Thank you. Carts, sauce carts, everything. So check out Eric and the team over there at Winewood Organics.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the micro business, it's a great idea.
And all these companies are not on the MCMA list. So.
Yup.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's the big thing about all of that MCMA, non-MCMA stuff. It's really like they're gonna try to get you on the price is good, the price is cheap, but like that's what I was trying to say like a couple episodes ago or a couple streams ago, is that some people are gonna be trapped into like, this is what I can afford.
I understand.
Or they may not know.
I understand.
But that's why we needed to have shows like this, or Rodney's show, Deliciously Dope, or Medical Mondays, or Jazz Cabbage Cafe. I'm just thinking the Michigan local ones. There's tons of Michigan Grow Bros. Like, there's tons of shows out there that are actually talking the truth, that, just because they put a bunch of fancy billboards up does not mean it's good weed.
Yeah, it just means they have a little extra money to advertise.
That, if anything, to me, that's a big red flag. Like, the fact that you can piss on that much advertising in that way, like the fact that you don't even care, right? You're just like, anyone, come here. Like, you know what I mean? You're not even, it just, the way it sells, it's like, but I understand. It's like the big way to advertise, I guess.
Until they make billboards illegal in the state.
Right.
Which I hope they don't. I find that ridiculous. Because you really can't advertise with cannabis. It's really difficult. Because it's still federally legal, so they need to decriminalize it. And what else, Groovy? Safe banking.
Dude, it. Big facts, dude. That's what we need. That's like what this industry needs. Because it's just so key to freeing the plant in a real way. Like, going legal would not... To me, going legal is almost like, hey, government, want to take over this plant you've been like screwing people over for? So it's like, that's why I do want it to go legal. Like, that's why I want it to go legal in the state. I just don't want it to go federally legal yet, because it's not ready. But decriminalization is necessary to truly freeing the people and the plant, because then people can stop associating it with, I mean, as corny as it's going to sound, is criminalization, like criminal actions. Like, I'm so sick of being like, it's like, oh, weed, drugs, or weed and alcohol, drugs and alcohol. It's like, damn, dude, just treat everything the same. Like, stop. Especially with, to me, weed, alcohol, no difference. Like, if anything, weed's a lot safer.
Yeah.
So, meaning like...
Agreed.
I don't know. I'm done. Rant over.
Rant over. All right, so...
CannaDave, what's your biggest influence when you started to grow?
What was my biggest influence?
That's what Dave Cobb asked. That was a question to you. I'm not CannaDave.
Dope question.
Like,
nice.
you influence to grow, maybe? I mean, I personally know who I would say if I was answering this question for you.
I'm curious. Who would you say?
No. I don't want to answer for you. I don't want to answer for you. I'll tell you after. I'm not going to tell you before. That's silly.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. My biggest influence, shit.
To get into growing, or to get into cannabis, maybe, like any of those type of influences.
Myself was one, obviously,
well,
but then like
anybody got you into weed? Because I think I know why you got into like liking growing, but like I don't know exactly why you were like, I'm gonna grow weed today. You just told me, you're like, one day I bought a closet. I was like, why do you mean you bought a closet? You're like, oh, a locker to go in my closet to grow weed. I was like, oh, nice, dude.
Well, dude, man,
you're 18.
It was high times. I was always looking
at your
at
mom's
magazines.
house. So shout out Linda.
Oh, thanks, chopping my mom.
Not Linda. Damn it. God damn it.
Canna mom.
Canna mom.
Jesus
Damn it. That's what I usually call her. I didn't mean to do this. As far as growing.
Yes, snuck that bitch in. It was
Like you dropped my name. So.
dude, I don't know, man. I had a lot of people I guess I would talk to.
I thought it was you were gonna say your grandma, because your grandma is the one who used to refer to got you into growing, like the plants,
she would
the garden and shit.
Yeah,
You used to talk about your grandma taking you out, but I don't know what got you into like growing weed. I mean, just loving weed. And
I think just falling in love with it. Yeah,
and then just wanting to, since you already had the skill from your grandma, maybe. I don't know.
Well, she was a good gardener. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I honestly reading High Times and seeing all the plants and buds, that stuff was very cool.
Isn't that crazy now how High Times, like, people look at it as so corporate, but like back then it was not. Like, it didn't feel corporate. I mean, even though it was, it just didn't. Dude, it was like fighting the power back then, being corporate.
I know, unfortunately, yeah, because it sucks. Because I have like a magazine stack of High Times, probably.
Well, that's why I'm still kind of. I still like High Times. Like, it's just like, you know, I don't necessarily think that their system, like their voting system's like on point. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I still don't. I like the event curation. I like the magazine curation. Like, I still like High Times. It's the name. The brand is been a little tarnished when they got into selling weed and stuff. Like, I don't know.
That's I had a couple mentors, I guess.
That's true. You just dropped Alex's name, yeah.
In the fam, they helped out. So all that was good. But I guess I don't know.
That's pretty interesting. So probably, yeah, and I mean Alex, but Alex didn't come for years after the fact, like after he started growing.
A little bit before.
Right?
No.
Like, you weren't cutting lawns yet.
No, I was cutting lawns.
Oh, were you?
I was cutting lawns at 17, 18.
Dave's always been around that grass.
Always. I honestly love the fresh smell of fresh cut grass.
I was going to say, dude, and then you sold landscaping, and then you grow. It's like, get the hell.
I just love I don't love the outdoors because I don't always like being outside, but in some way, I guess I love nature a little bit.
You're like, I guess. I mean, it's like I've hiked once.
I do like hiking.
When was the last time you went hiking?
Shit.
Maybe full screen when I call you up. Go ahead.
Probably last time I was out to Cali, which has been like a year ago.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Go hiking.
Yeah.
I'm just picking on you, man. I like it.
Dude, I'm always working, man. I work too much. That's something.
That's what I'm saying. Get outside, bro.
That's something I need to stop.
Being outdoors is good. I really do. Going outdoors, unplugging, especially, man. I hate, like, think about when we smoked that joint on the boulder last year. So I mean, you kind of hiking, maybe and bouldering, but like, there's something about nature and weed. I love it. Yeah, I really do enjoy it.
As far as growing, Dave, yeah, I would say my buddy Brandon, sister.
Yep.
That would probably be where I got a lot of my growing.
Yep.
And then, just honestly, I've gone through tried so many different mediums and different ways that I think just trial and error. Personally,
kind of like the experimenting.
Well, as a kid, I used to love science experiments, and one time I placed first in one, and then went to the next round, and it was like so exciting. So I've always loved cannabis growing.
I didn't know you won a science competition.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, man. Clutch.
Yeah,
when was that?
I
thought I went to school with you.
Maybe like 6th or 7th grade. It was one of the ones that we did at Carter, I believe. Middle school.
Well, I didn't win.
Well, if my memory serves me correctly, I think it was the one where we did.
We all had to do one in one in middle
books and eggs and see how much it could weigh.
I did which. Oh man, mine was about electronics. That's kind of funny now I think about it. Mine was which wiring has the. It was about conductivity and wiring. I did like which one would be the best conductor.
Nice.
Silver, bronze. Yeah, I guess I've always been a dork. I don't really like that. I never got into AV or electronics really till I got older. So it's kind of interesting to look back and be like, there was little hints of it, like when I was growing up, and I just never got into it because I got into sports. Like my parents were like, "Oh, he's fucking doesn't stop talking and moving. We should put him in sports." Like, so
smart though.
No, I mean it is what it is, right? I just never thought about that. Wow, I didn't know that about you, bud.
No, that's why I love growing, dude. I feel like it
is an experiment. All those growers out there. I mean, do you feel the same? Because I'm curious.
Think about if you're doing a side by side between mediums or lights or newts. Yeah.
So no, I wasn't trying to cut you off. You can keep going. I just thought there was an interesting comment. Yeah, Ronnie just says said today would have been Jack Herrera's 83rd birthday, which is pretty impressive. If you don't know who Jack Herrera is, it's like one of the OGest of strains. It's probably like 2nd gen, probably out there, 2nd, 3rd gen.
that's a
Jack
concern.
Herrera, man. I mean,
Well, the
I've
guy
had
was
some.
great for the industry too.
Well, I was going to say, wasn't he? He was a huge activist.
Yeah.
So
Jack Herrera. No shit. Thank you for dropping that knowledge. I appreciate that.
yeah, check out Deliciously Dope. Another Michigan podcast doing their thing. Oh, happy belated birthday, CannaDave.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, whoever said that.
I just saw that. I just saw it. I don't even know where it went, but I just saw it. Came up, and I lost what page it was on.
Appreciate
I
it.
wasn't just saying happy belated birthday, dude.
Well, I appreciate
Just
it.
what just out of nowhere. Hey, happy belated birthday, dude. And you be like, thanks, dude. You know we're recording, right? And we're streaming. Whatever. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, and please ask us anything. Share, comment, like. Just be like, yo, Groovy, why the hell you have so many tie-dye shirts? Like, get over it. Like, Jesus Christ, you damn hippie. Well, the name is Groovy, so there's that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the questions. This has been kind of fun. And then just to touch back real quick, 'cause we were talking about it. The first MSO leaves. I'm curious what everyone's thoughts on MSOs are. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say MSOs, I mean multi-state operators, which essentially means the cannabis dispensaries or grow ops that are in many, many states. Because I'm kind of have a negative look on them at first, right? I really did, because I was like, oh, I want to try that shit. They're just trying to come in the industry and ruin the industry. But then I had to think about it in this sense. Like, what if it was like, just hear me out, a Michigan brand that, like, left the state? Like, I don't want to say any names out there, right? But a brand that we love and, like, let's say a legacy brand, right? Went to the legal market and decided to leave the state. Now I'm in California or I'm in Colorado and I see a legacy brand. I'm like, well, I'm going to smoke their shit and support them out of the state. What do you think about those two options? Like, would you like to see like a legacy brand leave the state because of proud of their success, or is that them selling out? And like, do you like MSOs? Like, because that's like I'm always so curious people's thoughts on MSOs, because like I said, at first I kind of stayed away from them because I was like, oh, you know. But then I thought about shoe on the other foot. What if one of our legacy brands left?
If they left and did it the right way without like and built it where you're expanding, I'm all for it.
Like state by state,
rather than just like
we're going. We're a $1 billion company going into like 8 states at once type of thing.
Instead of that, I don't like that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I don't like. Yeah, where you just have all this money and you're coming in and you think you're just going to be able to just sweep up the competition. Yeah, that I'm not a fan of. But yeah, if you're expanding your brand, yeah, man. I mean, eventually you see that's what you see happen in business. I mean, these brands. Look at you might be, what is it? Grand Rapids has all those breweries out there. That's like the hugest spot for them. So Michigan will be your hub, but you might eventually, if cannabis becomes decriminalized and you can ship it, you might be able to ship yours into certain cities across and have it. But you'd have most of your stuff at home, probably. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I eventually you probably are going to see that stuff happening. I mean, Pleasant Trees already went to. I don't want to bring them up because they're an MCMA, but they already went out to the East Coast.
Who did?
Pleasant Trees.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just like I was saying.
Yeah.
They're going to MSO when they lose. As soon as their name goes to shit, they're going to leave.
Well, exactly. So you're going to see companies do it, but I would like to see the legacy brands.
I just never seen an MSO start here, right? Like, you see these, I don't know where these MSOs come from, to be honest. Like, you see them from Illinois or Cali, right? Well, they've been around longer. But then, what'd you roll up? I don't even know. Did you roll up the second one? Or is this still the same first one? Jesus. I'm like, Jesus, what's up, MD Processing? What you smoking on?
Second one.
But it's a good point.
No, I like your legacy point.
I just never thought about it. Like, you know, it's a valid point, right? You know what I mean? Like, I've never really considered the shoe on the other foot. You know, being a Michigan person.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I really, like I said, I'm not going to reach for MSOs. I'm always going to stick to caregiver legacy brands if I'm in the shop, or I'm going to stick to brands that I know and I think that are, you know, loyal here, and I buy from caregivers when I see caregivers, right? Like, I'll support all the system. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about me. That's why I always say I don't get confused by it. They're like, oh, if they buy caregiver stuff, they're not going to buy the shop. I'm like, I buy both. I beg to differ, sir. Because at the end of the day, if you like cannabis and, like, you don't drink, like, that's what you end up doing. You buy it from wherever, right? You know?
I mean, well, then you go into.
If I'm at a show, like I've been to shows and I've seen caregivers and got some weed or got some wax, like, that's cool. Hell yeah, I bought. You know, I've tried Dave Cobb's White Buffalo stuff. I support you, like, all the time. So it's like, it's like so, you know, it's just about, I don't know. knowing where your morals are at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Agree with you, man.
You know.
Can't take away the growing because then it's not legal. So, like, you know, everyone should be able to grow. I'm glad we have 12 plants here. I mean, truly, I think it should be more, but...
Yeah, right.
At least we have 12 because compared to a lot of these other states, there's not...
Speaking of that, I'm going to do some...
GMO.
I am.
Nice.
You know my tater tops now?
Yep. Because you know what I'm about to do.
This is Hell's Michigan caregiver app. Rosin. If anyone wants to take a dab with me, I'm going to take a rosin dab.
I'm down to do a dab too, man.
Oh, are you?
Hell yeah. Cool. Hook me up.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. You got your thing set up?
No.
Or you need me to? All right, yeah. It's fine. You can have a little dab.
All right.
Micro mini dab.
All right. I'll take it. Dave goes, you can never have too many tie-dye shirts. That is true. That is true. Very true, man. Oh, speaking of not tie-dye shirts, but this week, new episode releasing Rob Sims, ex-NFL veteran and co-founder of Primitive. So he joins the show, tells us all about Primitive, what it was like playing the NFL, the cannabis, the pills. We even get into psilocybin a little bit. Talk about a whole wide variety of things. Yeah. Where Primitive came from.
Honestly, just Rob Sims' perspective on cannabis was really awesome. Like, you know, Rob he seemed like a really nice guy, and like his, like him and Calvin both seem to have like a very personal relationship with cannabis, right? It's not just like, hey, I own this company. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the release. So we'll be releasing some clips Monday and Tuesday, and the episode drops Wednesday at 4:20 Eastern. Going live, obviously, on Tuesday, 7:10 Eastern, and then we'll be back next Saturday as well, too. So, and yeah, Dave, appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day tomorrow.
Happy Father's Day is tomorrow. Yeah. Happy Father's Day is tomorrow. Father's Day is tomorrow, yeah. Shout out that. I'm actually seeing my family tonight, doing a little bit. We're doing shout out to my homie. I'm actually going to give them a plug. My boy, shit, the dab just went off. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. I think I'm going out to breakfast with my pops. Brunch.
Good, hell yeah. Dude, the Carbone breakfasts are intimidating. I've been to one, man. It's like a bunch of Carbones, and they're all smoking a cigar. No, the first time I went, it was a breakfast place, and no one else was there. I was like, you guys like pay off the place or something? Like real Italian. They sat in the middle of the restaurant. No one else is there. I was like, this is fucking weird, man. Low dim lights. It's like 7 in the morning. What are we doing?
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, give a plug. Where are you going?
Erebus Escape Room. We're going to do an escape room tonight. I want to shout out if you're familiar with the Erebus haunted house out in Pontiac. If you're not, you should definitely check it out. Multi-leveled haunted house. They have an escape room right down the street in Pontiac. A fellow small business in Pontiac, so we got that short out. And we grew up, like we've been friends for over a decade with them. So proud of their growth. And actually, if you're into video games, check out his channel. It's Snake Eyes. It's spelled hard. It's like SNKE eyes with a Z. But just shout out them. It's a family fun thing, but it really is great. And like my family has a blast doing it. I really want to do it with work. I mean, shit. Maybe that we should do a meetup there. It'd be a lot of fun. If anyone, would you be into escape rooms? Let us know. Maybe we'll throw something together there. And I just want to give a quick plug because that's a homie and that's like Small Biz Pontiac. Gotta show him love, man.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, man. You'll enjoy that.
Have you guys?
I haven't done it.
Oh, man,
I have not done it yet. No, you've done it once though, haven't you? Twice.
I have.
Yeah,
I have. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
No.
Yeah. So like we've been kind of touching base. Terrapin left. So that's sweet.
Again, yeah. Give that a round of applause.
Yeah, because at first I was gonna go wham, like meaning they're gone. But like I'm just glad. And then that's the thing is I didn't want to take a stab at just MSOs. I still don't like MSOs. Like deep down, like I don't reach for MSOs. Right? I'm like, oh hey, they're from out of state. Let me try them. Right. But it's like, I don't know. I do think about shoe on the other foot lately with legacy brands. So it's interesting.
If they got morals, man, I mean, it's fine. There's some of these companies.
Well, it's just like when I'm in Vegas, I'm forced to buy brands I've never heard of. You know, I mean, that's why, like, oh, I saw church. I'm like, oh, let me buy their shit. Their stuff's okay here. Like, so, like, sometimes that MSO thing kind of pays off. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I'm only going to sport MSOs. Like, no, man. I come from a different system. We come from something different here in Michigan, of course. I'm just saying, you know, there's a little bit of that outlier that I could see. Generally, I don't like MSO, like, you know, because they're just a lot of them, like that beginning, are probably just like $1 billion corporations. You know, a shit ton of money.
The ones that are.
So I'm not supporting the billionaires. If you knew me in the personal life, I am not down with that. Like, it is what it is. Like, right? We, unfortunately, like, if you have a job, we all work for some billionaire, right? That's just how it works. That's life. But, like, at the end of the day, like,
ain't that true?
You know. Do I think these $1 billion corporations in cannabis, is that where they belong? No. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't care about billionaires. There's oil money out there and whatever money. Billionaires are billionaires, right? But billionaires just coming into the cannabis industry and be like, we grow good weed now? That ain't cool. That doesn't even make sense, really.
No, it doesn't, dude. You don't.
You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's what happens, though. That's what happens to your business. You won't survive. I mean, Michigan has a lot of cannabis connoisseurs. It was built on the caregivers. I mean, quality product speaks for itself. We had the caregiver program until anything was legal until 16, and even then, that was the medical program, and it was still supplied by the caregivers. 18 became legal.
Just like with what you went through, man. Like, I just the system's so jacked, man, and that's like, we need decriminalization.
Oh, I know. It needs to happen.
Like, the medical program, the adult use program, leave them. Just decriminalize it. Like, none of it, like, none of these other things don't even matter. And, like, really, when decriminalization happens, like, then people, I feel like decriminalization could even shut these mouths of some of these greedy people, because they're like, oh, wow, the green zones are everywhere now. Now we can just go sell wherever the fuck we want, right? So it's like, that's another reason why I want decriminalization to happen, because I feel like those companies would maybe just leave and just leave. Like, you know, it wouldn't be a big thing. There wouldn't be so much hate on the caregivers, because the caregivers aren't the issue. It's that the market's still too small.
Dude, growing at your home.
You open up that market, dude, it's a whole other ballgame. Let them sell their garbage to people who don't care, who want that cheap shit to go with their couple beers. You know what I mean? Let the connoisseurs be the connoisseurs.
Yeah.
Natural divide, man. There's always going to be people who drink the PBRs, and there's always going to be people that spend on Louis the 13th, right? There's always going to be people who don't give a shit about what strain it is. Let me get that 3 for $20. And there's going to be people, or whatever, and there's going to be people who just grow their own shit and are super picky. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be that spectrum of users.
There's a market for all that. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just gotta leave it alone. I think you're absolutely right, man. I don't know what else to say on that. There's not much to follow up, but I think you're absolutely correct, dude. Like, I think when we do, so one of us says something right, we should come up with a thing. Like, we should just be like, cheers, and either like hit a joint and like just dab or something. I'll take that GMO.
So now me saying it's a good idea has become, hey, you give me a dab. No, it's fine. That's cool. It's cool. Continue Dave's birthday. Dave's birthday week.
Too funny, man. Too funny. Nah, it's been a good
Technically, my dog and Dave share a similar birthday, so my dog is officially 12 this week. I don't know. It's not his exact birthday. It's his birthday week, but Kilo is officially 12. That's the joke between Dave. Dave's like, no, it's the same day. Okay, but say if you want to wish happy birthday to my dog, he's the one who's always over there. Hey, bud. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're comfy. Yeah, but that's key.
Happy birthday, Kilo.
Kilo's 12. Pretty old dog.
Yeah, he chilling.
On camera, bud. Woke him up.
Yeah, he's like, what
Either way. just, you know, whatever. He's like, come on, man. I was sleeping. You put me on camera. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
Yeah, Dave says it perfect. Open the market and see who's still standing.
Right. Well, it'll change. Dude, it'll change, man. PBR will still be PBR. That's just like I'm not even knocking PBR. I mean, you know what I'm saying, cheaper beer. You know, it's people who don't care. Like, like when we were kids, we were drinking Natty Lights just because we get messed up sometimes. Like, that's gross. Like, I don't know. God, we were crazy back then. Crazy back then.
I mean, who hasn't drank brunettes? Like,
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Oh, 5 o'clock in Orange. I remember because we were like, oh, for $10 we can all get drunk. Wow, sweet, like that. Well, I mean, dude, that's what I'm trying to say. There's always different perspectives. Some people are just balling on that budget, dude. Whatever they got is what I'm gonna get. You know what I mean? So that's why I always say, like, I get why the market, like, why these companies are gonna exist, and they will exist in the place they need to be once the market expands. Right now, everyone's trying to eat off the same people, and that's why there's such a struggle. That's why there's so much art fight. If we just open up these green lines or green, whatever you want to call them, the market, right? You know, then we'd have that natural divide. Okay, hey, let's go after the people that are really going to buy our shit.
Right, because not everyone's going to buy your product. Exactly.
Right now, they're just trying to go after the same market because the same pie. Because the pie is only 40% of the people. Once you open it all up, they can go sell it to all these areas that they want to. They can take over. But it's like it's gonna happen, dude. You can't. It's never greed. Corporate is in everything. That's why there's literally corporate this, corporate that. There's like corporate soda, corporate toilet paper. You know, there's corporate. You know, whatever. There's always corporate versus the local brands. That's like what. America. That's America. Yeah, exactly. It's just making sure your morals are in line and knowing what's good. You know. So
it's gonna be interesting on how the next year or two plays off. Within the state, because
I really want to know where I seen someone with a cup that says "fuck the MCMA." I would love that. I really would. If anyone knows where they get those mugs, let me know. Because I would sip coffee and just be like, every once in a while, I'd just be like,
get Groovee sipping coffee. That'd be awesome.
And I'd even let you hear the sound like I just did. Usually I don't. I'll mute it, but right, I would make sure you know this is in a moment. You know, so I'm just like, I don't know. That cracks me up. Well, because at the end of the day, like, come on. You're going to go after the small group of people that are just trying to take care of themselves. Like, that doesn't make sense. I know we talk about the MCMA all the time. And if you don't know, the MCMA is a group of companies who are against caregivers' rights, essentially just so they can sell their stuff.
No, they're against that.
And that is a little propaganda or a little opinionish, but it's my facts.
Only be able to grow.
Well, they're just trying to,
and it's untested.
They say they're trying to stick from illicit and it's keeping the market unsafe or whatnot. But then, you know, then we saw what happened with the, recalls and shit happened. So, anyways, I just want to point out that there are companies out there that can find your morals. Might have to travel or spend a little bit more, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah. And you gotta be careful. I mean, look at Viridius. Remember they're testing
That's what I was trying to say. It's like sometimes shit just happens, man. You can't.
That testing result was like way over. That stuff was wild.
Yeah. You can't just be like, never buy legal weed again because of one recall. Like dude, life happens, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like morals in business is hilarious. Yeah, that's kind of funny. That's true. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I love like small business, man. Like, wasn't that, like, not to get too America-y, but wasn't that America was founded on, man? Small business, middle class, like, isn't that like the best thing to me? You know, but the problem is I'm victim of going to bigger grocery stores or Costco. I mean, I don't have a Costco card anymore, but I did for a little while. You know what I mean? You're still a victim of doing these, like, crap, why am I supporting these people? But it's like, why it's okay in one industry, but it's not okay in the other industry. It's like, come on. Like, so it's like, huge. It's hard. That's it. Especially like when we found out, we had listeners that are like, that's all I can fucking buy because that's all I have out here and I don't have a caregiver. And then he's just getting into growing, which I think he just showed us some pictures. We're looking all right. So hopefully he's getting, dialing it in. You know what I mean? But
making changes and you gotta appreciate that.
Yeah. Mission Flower Queen. Hey.
What's going on?
What's up, Jana?
It's gonna be interesting how the next year, like I was trying to say, year or two plays out with all these companies spending tons of money, more coming to market. Are they gonna be able to stay afloat or not stay afloat? Be curious if we see more of them end up leaving the state or just closing down shop.
Do you have my rig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right though. If they see them close down, hey, you probably will though.
Yeah, I mean, it's only so much. You gotta make sure you can turn your product into profit. I do think a lot of the smaller craft ones that are dialing it in for quality will be around long term. Like you're gonna be able to produce that quality for quality product which everybody likes, usually decently priced, and you're good to go. You know, like no one can survive off $60-$50 A's. Like if you're a heavy consumer flower like me, you can. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's so much money to waste on weed. Like, and that's not. I mean, I guess I don't know, not waste, but like it's a lot of money.
I know what
dude.
you're saying.
That's a lot of money.
Keep spending nonstop.
Yeah,
I mean,
like in a month. I remember 1 month of my weed spend, and it was
when you weren't growing, or
yeah, and because they just opened up and like
you want to open up about that number?
No.
Was it over $1,000?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I don't know.
What kind of weed do you buy? Dave,
dude, I don't know, dude. It was probably because like I was going for meandrous, so.
No.
But, dude,
That's
like, because they're like, oh, we
So
just
what?
opened up, and they're like, you got these many points. I'm like, oh, how do you get the points? They're like $1 for every spend. I was like, what? I was like, whoa. And that's when I realized, I was like, you spend way too much. Not like years ago, but like, you spend way.
well, that's
too
because you get to the dispo and you're like, I'm gonna spend this, and you're like, ooh, but that sounds nice. Ooh, but that sounds nice.
I know, it's messed up.
So,
Well, that was back when it was medical though, and everything was like
different.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Oh, dude, sorry, Rodney said he broke his banger last night. Hey, man, I'm gonna take a dab for you. R.I.P. bud. R.I.P. bud. Ding.
Anything to take a dab. He's like, yeah.
Oh man, you see, it's. I don't know.
Damn,
Shout
your
out to my
banger,
dude
bro.
Logan Law, by the way. Who,
Take a dab.
Shout out to my dude Logan Law, who
You're out of rosin? I'll take a dab.
who I use the intro and outro music for. My homie on Squad Records. Shout out to my friend, my dude.
Man, this guy give you a hard time. So great.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. That's why I'm like,
You're drinking coffee? Oh, I'm gonna take a dab.
You know what coffee reminds me of?
Taking the dabs.
That's hilarious. That's funny as hell.
It's been a fun week.
Well, shit. Yeah. We should get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everyone tuning in with us, waking up and baking up this Saturday morning. Hope you all have a great weekend. See y'all live Tuesday at 7:10 Eastern time.
Socials are below. If you want to check out our personal shit, I make music on the side.
Check it out.
Some sax stuff, some EDM stuff, some shit in between. Dave's growing
stuff.
and post and grow shit, and cool blogs on his website, CannaDave.com. MyCannaCast.com's got sick blogs there.
Yep.
Groovee is in the work.
Also, if you're not on the YouTube channel, check out the YouTube. We have a whole High Times review series of all the
Yeah, we have a
reviews,
bunch of 'em.
and reviews just keep getting posted.
Yeah.
So they're not all on Facebook or Instagram, but they're on YouTube. So if you want to check out any of them, just go check them out there. Just hit playlist. You'll see a playlist tab, and it'll be a High Times playlist for Make It Easy.
Yeah, man, those backpacks were an interesting experiment. So,
Yeah.
a lot of boof, a lot of good stuff.
And I actually got an
in
idea for
between.
something for today, too. So
Oh, man, I can't wait. Sorry, I don't know how to react.
all right. Well, on that
kidding.
note,
I'm sorry. I'm
you guys
sorry,
all have
man.
a great weekend.
I'm giving you shit, dude.
We'll see y'all live Tuesday. And as always, Groovee,
We're going to advocate
educate.
and inspire.
Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Hey.
Smoke good.